Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TMZ podcast. My name is Tony, filling in for Branson today, and I am joined by Skylar, our social media intern. It is your last day, I just heard.
It is my last day today. I've had a wonderful summer here, but, good things got to come to an end.
So tell everybody who doesn't know, how is your experience here interning at TMZ?
My experience has been wonderful. I've really been able to dabble in everything, hence podcasts. I'm the social media intern, and it's not just limited to that, and that's what I really like. So,
Awesome.
Had a great time.
Nice. Well, we have a lot of stories to get to. One story in particular that I just is near and dear to my heart, and it's one of the most infamous unsolved murders, I think, in American history. And myself, I know a lot of people out there just want answers to this, and we're hopefully we'll get some soon. So, Keefe D, he is on trial currently in Las Vegas, and prosecutors are alleging he orchestrated the 1996 shooting of Tupac Shakur and that he supplied the gun used in the attack. Like I said, he's currently on trial in Las Vegas, and we actually had Suge Knight. He had some thoughts.
He did.
On this whole trial, and he wanted to clear the air on some certain theories that were out there about Tupac's murder. And honestly, let's just get into it. Harvey and Charles talked to him earlier on TMZ Live. Let's hear what he had to say about the murder trial.
What the prosecution is saying is the best witness for them is Keefe D, because he essentially confessed that he wrote a book. He's talked about this on podcasts. He's now kind of moonwalking back here and saying, well, I had a ghostwriter in the book. What do you make of that?
He's full of shit. I look at it like this. It's not about picking on Keefe D, but at the same time, most of his situations, I know he did it to himself. I knew his lawyer. His lawyer was a friend of mine, and I knew about him having immunity and doing that deal a long time ago. But the crazy thing about it, for 30 years or so or more, it cost me my freedom. It cost me money. It cost me business deals. I paid a lot of the fact that from day one, even though I got a bullet an inch into my skull, they always says I'm the one who had Tupac killed, which is far from the truth. Every person who participated in that, they never brung up. There's a lot of people who participated and a lot of people who they don't talk about. And I'm not here to say they should get punished, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the revenge. I believe that my kindness comes from God, my strength comes from God. So I'm not on that page of saying they need to get punished, but it's sort of sad that every person has all dropped everything on Keefe D. When you look at it, he got immunity, so they can never charge him again. But then he was in bed and dealing with a guy that knew if he do a book, he was on one podcast 7 times, another podcast 5 times, and he did a book.
So
that destroyed his immunity.
But it does sound like you were saying there were other people involved.
You said
beyond Keefe D.
many others.
And even though Keefe D is the guy standing trial, that there are many others involved?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say these guys' names, but everybody knows. One thing you got to realize, even in my book, that's why I pushed it back. It tells the details of certain things, but it's still no names involved. That's all you got to look around and see the people, even people who got the fake death row. They've been talking and talking and talking and talking. All of a sudden, it get close to this situation with Keefe D, everybody's quiet.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff to break down in that. He said a lot. And one of the things that stuck out to me was he's alluding to, even heard Charles bringing up, that multiple people were involved in this. Obviously, he didn't name any names. I was going to be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on just the whole this whole Keefe D murder trial, Tupac's murder, and how we haven't gotten any answers 30 days after, or 30 years, excuse me, nearly after it happened. What are your thoughts on?
I was just thinking, 30 years in the making, and it's still going on. It's obvious that there's a lot kind of holding it back. And it's interesting, Suge kind of brought up that there were multiple people too. I think that really just kind of explains the complexity of it. And I think he said that he deserves a fair trial as well. But it's interesting. He didn't want to add extra pressure as well.
Yeah, I've always, so the night that this happened, there was a Mike Tyson fight, and there's an infamous photo of Tupac and Suge Knight. We can't show the photo, but they're riding in their BMW, and it was the last photo that Tupac was seen before he was unfortunately killed. I just never. In today's age, we have cameras everywhere. I always bring it up with our current cases, like with Nancy Guthrie, how I just find it crazy that we don't have answers to that still. And for this, before the digital age really took off, this was the MGM Grand Casino. This was the Las Vegas Strip. There was so many people out that night. I just don't, like I said, there's no understanding in just all this wrong stuff that goes on in the world. But it's just crazy. We don't have answers. And I really hope we get some answers soon, because there's been multiple instances throughout this whole murder, this whole just story in general. I remember a lot of people were accusing Suge of having something to do with it. And he even clarified, why would I have anything to do with it if I got shot myself? And why would I put myself in that position if I did? And he's made that clear. I had nothing to do with that. And I remember Orlando Anderson. A lot of people were saying that he was the one that maybe pulled the trigger. He was he was killed in, I believe, 1997, before we even got any. So it seems like there's people who know stuff, but either they're dead or nobody's talking.
Yeah, nobody wants to snitch. Nobody wants to be a snitch, and that's totally respectable. But I think it comes down to something that you brought up that I found so interesting is the fact that 30 years ago, it was a completely different time. If this happened today, it would be done like that.
Yeah.
We'd have a whole freaking documentary on it full of video and stuff, but it's just we don't have that, and that's what I think is the mystique to this case. Almost it adds to kind of the interesting aspect.
And I'm surprised, like we were just saying, I'm surprised that Keefe D, if he's even said he's one of the few witnesses that knows a lot about this stuff. Why are you talking then? Why are you self-snitching going on books, going on podcasts? You're not doing yourself any favors here. But like I said, we need answers. Tupac is a legend, and so we need answers to all unsolved mysteries. But this one in general, Biggie, we just need answers, and I'm hoping during this trial we get some.
Yeah, I know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll keep following it as well. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff.
Yes. All right. Moving on to our president, Donald Trump. So there was a major story that came out overnight about the plane that he took to the NATO summit about a month ago. So we're getting more details on that. You want to get into that?
Yes, we are. So President Trump, apparently he left Secretary of State Marco Rubio and several senator aides and journalists aboard an older Air Force One while he secretly left Turkey on a different military aircraft because of a threat, an Iranian threat. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump publicly appeared to board the older Air Force One in Turkey, but then secretly slipped away. And do you want to guess how he secretly slipped away? He went
in a catering truck?
In a catering truck. What? I wonder, were they
Skylar, I seen all throughout this morning, through our morning podcast, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I seen all this morning people making a ton of fat jokes about Donald Trump. He's like, oh, of course he's sneaking out in a catering truck.
God.
Oh, you should have just put a McDonald's logo on it and it would have been very fitting. But yeah, this story, it's a lot of people are pissed off because if he snuck out to go on the catering truck and he left the journalists and other aides on the Air Force One as sort of a decoy, they're like, why would you leave? If there's a real threat, why would you? And I think that's honestly a valid point. Like, again, the president is we have to protect the president. We have to protect, but I feel like we have to protect all lives. And, you know, so if there was a legit threat, get everybody off the plane. Even, I mean, again, I'm not national security.
Yes.
I'm not a politician. I don't know. Maybe there's more security measures that are involved in that is better for, you know, security reasons. But leaving that many people on a plane as a decoy? What if I always wonder, like, what if something did happen?
I know. What if something did happen? Would they just not care? Would they brush it off? Like,
I would hope. I would hope
that they would care, but it's like, it makes you think: was this a protocol that was kind of set in place? Like, if something like this happened, they would use that as a decoy, or did it just kind of pan out that way? And it's just interesting to see. So, and then reporters asked Trump why window shades had been ordered closed on the outbound Turkey flight. And he said,
this reply was wild. Go ahead, get into it.
You're probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleaze bags that we have to deal with. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go, right? Girl.
I mean, that's classic Trump. I mean, I think he's joking, and you know, he has his stuff that he says, I think, on purpose. That way the media can, you know, like he says very rage baity, trolling stuff, you know, to just get at the media. But at the same time, like, I actually speak louder in words, and we got this video now of him sneaking out on a catering truck, and people just you know, just ragging on this Trump for doing that and see. I don't know. It's just a very weird situation, very weird story, and
yeah, it is for sure.
We live in a crazy world.
We do. Every day I wake up and I look at my phone and I'm like,
every headline. I'm so, I say that tomorrow's not going to be as bad, or the next headline isn't going to be as crazy. Then we see stuff, just new stuff.
I mean, TMZ DC, you guys. We're going off there because I can only imagine. I wish I was fly on that wall.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, the White House is like the new version of Hollywood.
It is.
Like, there's the amount of stuff, like the amount of headlines and stories that come out over the past, I would say, since 2016, really since Trump came in office. They have just been wild, and they've just been as good as Hollywood scripts.
I agree.
So I think it's very fitting that we have TMZ DC. Make sure you check out all their content.
Yeah, check out TMZ DC, seriously.
Yes.
I'm an avid consumer of it. But, yeah.
All right, moving on to Cardi B, the queen of hip-hop, my personal favorite. Are you a fan of hip-hop?
Honestly, yes, I am. I love Cardi B.
Yes.
Me and my best friend, we get down to some Cardi B.
Cardi B is lit, but there was some stuff going on in her music video shoot. So a photographer was handcuffed by NYPD after getting into a dispute with security during her music video shoot in Brooklyn. So 70-year-old photographer Steven Sands disrupted the permitted shoot Monday in Sunset Park. Sands allegedly went beyond police barriers and ignored instructions from Cardi's staff. Police sources confirmed that Sands continued causing a disturbance after officers ordered him to stop. He was temporarily placed in handcuffs. Officers issued a court summons for disorderly conduct, and he was released and not arrested.
Right.
It's just craziness going on. I mean, if you're there, I mean, we're playing the video right now.
Yeah.
It seems really lit, and
I gotta see this.
What really? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the needs for. Is there really a need for causing disruptions like that?
You know what? I'm all for the free press. I love taking photos myself. You know, I love people getting their hobby on, especially. But I mean, if you are getting so rowdy that it requires like police altercation, like,
So,
I don't know.
I do want to say Sands did give his own story or own side of events of what happened. He told TMZ a very different version. He says he arrived before Cardi B. A security guard gave him instructions regarding where the crowd and media media could stand. Sands claims the guard later positioned him behind the equipment, preventing him from getting a clear shot of Cardi. Sands said he asked to move about 10 feet away to an open area where he could photograph Cardi. Security refused, telling him Cardi won't want him there. So, I mean, I do get if he's saying that he couldn't get a clear shot and that's his job, I do understand the frustration, but there's like a line you cross, and if you're continuing to cause disruptions and that, I mean, permits and just, the photographers, videographers, everybody there involved in the production, that's on time basis.
Exactly. That's people's time, money, production. Like, they need to be there. Who was he with? Do we know who he was representing? Was it like an independent?
I don't think we know the particular details of that yet, but I mean, I do understand his frustration of wanting to get a clear shot. But again, if it was repeated, like what they're saying out there, then I mean, there's a point where they're just gonna all right, dude, you got to get out of here. And yeah, no photos of Cardi.
To me, that quote is just so funny. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't care what Cardi wants.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh my God, all right, man.
Okay.
But honestly, yeah, I'm all for, taking shots. It is a public area too, so
I assume it's probably they're probably sectioned it off at some places. But I mean, like I said, I get his frustration. But
honestly,
there's a line, dude.
Production was pretty nice to give him a spot too.
So we just pulled this up right now. He sent some shots at Cardi B. He said, to one of the scummiest, nastiest, talentless vermin who also lived up to her name, Cardi B.I., who told her few applauding fellow Dominican fans to shut the F up. So he's saying that Cardi was very, I'm assuming he's saying that she's impatient, not in a great mood, and all. Craziness. Craziness.
I mean, to warrant that response, obviously, maybe she kind of riled it up. Maybe I don't know.
This is Cardi, man.
But
she's going to, if she's pissed off, she's going to let you know.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? I'm seeing devil's advocate on both sides right now.
I do understand his frustration, but at the same time, line, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any comments, Branson?
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna...
Poop sex? Okay.
I'm just trying.
He's a huge snitch.
Well, he didn't.
I mean, he hasn't really said anything.
He didn't say.
I don't. He didn't say anything.
He didn't say.
He didn't say any of the specifics.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, a lot of people because of Vanilla. Yeah, I can go on and on and on and on about this
right now.
If you want to go into the theories behind it, Vanilla Ice was involved with Suge Knight and all this stuff. Go watch it.
Yeah. Did he brought that up in the full interview?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. That is a really good point.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't read a lot of the comments this morning because everybody's arguing. It's a statement on today's current society about everybody arguing about everything.
Yep.
But the roasts on Trump this morning were pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's kind of what he's going for. Yeah. I don't know what I would do either in that situation, but I think that's a good point. If he was on the Titanic, he probably wouldn't go down. He wouldn't be like how the music people stayed on. He wouldn't. Yeah. That would not be him.
Don't roast me. I haven't seen Titanic. I fell asleep every single time I try to watch it.
I am a chronic movie faller sleeper, so.
Yes. Yeah.
Spoiler alert! No spoiler alerts on Titanic right now. No, I don't. Oh. Wait, I actually think that I,
know
have
nothing
seen
about
that.
this. I know nothing
this,
about
this.
this
happened
war.
like a long time ago, right? Yeah.
Okay. Any more comments? Okay.
Damn.
Well,
guys
thank you
gotta-
so much, Skylar, for joining me
Thanks for
today.
having me.
And thank you guys for watching. Oh,
Well, next is I go back to college for my last year, senior year, man.
nice.
I go to Long Beach State.
Nice.
Represent. Yeah,
Nice.
that's right. Yeah, it is. I love it. So
Yes.
go beach. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Bye, guys.